Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today in my latest episode. Got Dave on again. Thank you very much, mate, for coming on.
No problem, bro. Looking forward to a little LFC chat and more.
Yeah, we've got a packed show, really, everyone. We're going to be talking about the breaking news, Pochettino. We're very much start off the show with everyone. I've dug a bit about it. Klopp's done a little talk about VAR. I've got his latest quotes on that as well. It's only a small bit of the show anyway. And me and Dave have very much talk about the big game at the weekend, Saturday. Premier League football is back at long last. Get in. I'm just discuss really. We all want to know your starting 11 predictions as well. Who you feel will start for Liverpool come Saturday 3:00 kickoff anyway, mate. But thank you very much for coming on, mate, yet again. We'll get straight into the nitty-gritty of Pochettino. You broke to me. You should be working for Sky, mate. It's literally straight on it. But yeah, mate, I'm very, very surprised. I think a lot of Spurs fans and Finger would probably say the results haven't been going their way, mate. But I'm shell-shocked because for where Spurs have come over the years, really, we've known Spurs to be a very much a mid-table team prior to Pochettino coming in anyway, mate. But will he go to United, mate? What are your thoughts, most importantly, first?
Well, as I said, I only found out about 10 minutes ago. He's left. Now, he wasn't happy there, Jack. After even the run-up to the Champions League finals, he's had problems with his backroom staff. He's had problems with the board, especially. He didn't buy a player last year. Remember what happened there? He wanted one or two in last season, the Champions League final season. They didn't bring anyone in. I know they did well. They finished in the top four and they got to a Champions League final. But the last, say, 7-8 games in the league, they just didn't look right, did they? That's why I was so confident in the final that we beat them. They just didn't look like the Spurs team of old. Something's going on in the background there at Spurs. Something's not right, and obviously he's gone now today. And the only problem I have is will he go to United? That's the big question.
Definitely, mate. I feel he probably will. I think that's probably Manchester United, Ed Woodward. I think they've definitely 100% spoke to him. I think Pochettino won't say it publicly, but and the club United and Spurs, he won't say it publicly, but I think that was always in the background, and I think his head very much did get turned in the summer. I felt Pochettino himself probably felt. He said after the Champions League final, everyone's discussed it. Like he said himself, he would have left Spurs hadn't if Spurs won that Champions League. He said he's taken the club as far as they have gone. But I'm not excited, but I'm very, very intrigued to see.
You're shocked.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Spurs as a football club. Don't get me wrong, big football club managers come and go in terms of clubs' histories and that, but for where I grew up watching Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Bentley, and all those Jermaine Geniuses play at Spurs. They were, no discredit to them, but they were great players. But the squad in which the current Klopp are now, such a fantastic 1-11, probably arguably with City and Liverpool. Will there be a mass exodus of players going out if Pochettino does go to Manchester United? Will they all follow suit? And it'd be very interesting to see where Harry Kane does end up, mate. Because that's the big player. That's going to be what's going to be happening now.
Well, another question as well. I've always said it. I said it on a few vlogs even last year. I always thought Pochettino, whether he was going to get sacked this side of Christmas or in the new year, maybe next summer, that he was either going to go to United or Madrid. They were the two teams. Real Madrid as well, remember. They were looking at him as well. That's a possibility. Him being Argentinian as well. Yeah. He might want to go to Madrid, you know what I mean? Bit better weather than Manchester.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a big job at Manchester United. There really is. I know there's a big job at Madrid, but there's an even bigger job at Manchester United. It's a tough job. You could make a complete boo-boo of it, and there might be no way back. So he might look They've had a lot of managers there. That might be just too much for him. You wouldn't know. You know, he might take till next summer off. Might just take a little sabbatical for a few months and come back fresh next summer. It's a bit of it's not really a shock, Jack. Really, not really. He hasn't been happy for the last 6 months. So I just heard it today. That's why it's a bit of a shock. Just before we went live, we did the video, we heard it. But not really a shock. But where do Spurs go from here? I mean, they're in trouble already. They've lost a few games. They haven't looked the same side. He's had problems with Eriksen as well. I think he's had a falling out with Eriksen. Eriksen is a top player. I'd like him at Liverpool. Never mind going anywhere else.
Christian, if you watch it anyway, don't you know? Come to us.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've already heard it there. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, but, everyone, let us know your thoughts on obviously Pochettino's exit anyway. But I'll just quickly brief over this story, mate. I don't know if you've heard it. Obviously, it's a little section. Everyone will read out Jurgen's quotes in terms of Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp calls for VAR change at managers' summit anyway. Jurgen Klopp has used UEFA coaches conference to call for changes to the VAR system. A host of leading European managers attended the summit at UEFA headquarters in Lyon, Switzerland, including Klopp and Manchester City rival Pep Guardiola. These are his quotes as stated of Sky. VAR can improve. It will never be 100% accurate. Everybody knows that, but there are a couple of things that are not right. With VAR, handball, offsides, it's clear we have to keep on improving. There were good ideas from UEFA about how we can sort things from the referees, so everybody is onto it. There is still space for mistakes. These things are done by human beings, and none of us are perfect. Nobody is asking for preparation. You just want to have the right decisions. And then final conclusions on his quotes. Klopp also voiced his concerns over the increasing crowded fixture programme, saying the discussions on that are really important and we have to start dealing with them anyway. Obviously, there was a whole host of managers in terms of that press conference. Obviously, Sarri, the Juventus manager, and Den Haag, and Thomas Tuchel, many of the leading
that's some managers conference, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's great that a lot of them are very much voicing their own opinions. He's spot on there, mate, isn't he? We've already discussed over the last couple of weeks that there is space to improve in terms of different areas. Klopp's, everyone's human, referees. There's always, I think that's what we like as football fans around the world. There is those opportunities to discuss at the weekend. You go and see your mates and you're like, if United or Blues anyway, they're like, oh, that wasn't handball and all that. But VAR has created a lot more controversy than it's meant to have helped.
I have two things. VAR, you're saying human beings run it. I actually thought it was aliens from the Martian League. Intergalactic Martian League, because most of them haven't got a bleeding clue. So VAR is here to stay. Very average refereeing. VAR, it's here to stay, Jack. It just needs to weed out the little inconsistencies, but it's not going anywhere. It really isn't. They're not going to let it go now. I think it's FIFA, UEFA are going to keep it anyway. The Premier League will have to keep it. Just weed out the little stupid mistakes, you know, the obvious mistakes. That's all we want, and the explanations really quick and speed it up a bit more, like they do in cricket, like they do in rugby. You know, these type of things, and probably they eventually will over time. It might take a season, might take 2 seasons. But I think VAR is here to stay. Yeah. And the Martians are going to do a better job in the future. But the other thing, Klopp, of course, Klopp was at some sort of a UEFA top coaches thing. Tuchel was there. PSG, you Klopp, you Guardiola. Did you see the funny thing with Klopp being interviewed and Guardiola coming out behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they do that 2 or 3 times a year. The top reps and clubs, they all meet up. Liverpool representatives, you know, all the top teams meet up somewhere in Europe or whatever. But other than that, Jack, I think VAR is here to stay. The big thing for this week is, we just heard it there, Pochettino has left Spurs. That's the big breaking news. Next thing is the VAR. Third thing is, obviously, Premier League is back after this terrible, super long international break.
Yeah.
Back into it against Crystal Palace away on Saturday. Tough one, by the way.
Yeah.
And we keep an eye on Manchester shitty Visa card boys, because they've a tricky one against Chelsea at the empty hat as well. So
Yeah.
what do you think of the Palace game coming up?
I'm excited for it, mate. Obviously, we spoke obviously last week about the fixture part. We talked a lot about the fixtures, didn't we, everyone? We know the fixtures City have got coming up at the next coming week. So it's important that these next couple of games, Crystal Palace overall form is not too good. They've only, I think, it's one win in the last 5 or something. The last the 3 home games they've lost, and the previous away win was last week anyway. The last away fixture anyway. All promising signs. Wilfried Zaha, from what I've been reading, he's going to be a slight doubt. They will try and obviously get him 100% fit anyway, but he's got a sore foot. Poor Zaha. I'm sure he can play through the pain anyway. And I think it was Danny one of the Wards, the defenders. He's a slight doubt for the game. Most of the team is very much fully fit, mate. Palace, as we all know, Chris Campbell always haunts us when we go down there anyway. It's going to be a very hard fixture, regardless of Crystal Palace's previous form. But it's 3 points due to the way in which they've been playing this season. I think Liverpool can definitely expose them. They're not the Palace side that you used to once be, but as we always speak, mate, every single one of us, when on your channel and our channel and everything, there's never an easy game in Premier League football.
No.
But I'm hoping we do get 3 points, and if we play our game, but I'm just hoping, from what I've seen on Match Today over the last couple of weeks, over the previous weeks, they are so poor defensively, especially Patrick Van Aanholt. He can get completely missing. I think Trent can very much pinpoint down the left-hand side. So poor defensively, anyway, but I think we can get a couple of goals at the weekend.
I've just looked at the fixtures before we came on. We've actually beaten them in the last 4 league games. I know it sounds weird. It's always a tight game. There was that famous 4-3 last season, remember?
Yeah, that was a great game.
We beat them. We beat them 2-0 away. We beat them 2-1 away. And we beat them 1-0 in Anfield the last 4 games. So we've done all right against them, but they're always tight. There's always a goal or two in it, you know. Zaha is the one you want to watch, obviously. But realistically, Salah's a big injury though, it looks like. I know he's back at Melwood. Probably be okay, but Salah's could be a big miss. Robbo's an injury doubt as well.
Yeah.
But did you see Shaq Meister, Roblox boy, was back in training today?
Oh, yeah.
That was the Power Cube. Roblox boy is back training. That's good to see.
It's great to see. I think over the last couple of weeks, we very much have missed him. I think, obviously, it's regardless if he does stay fit or not, mate. But I think we seen that last year, or was the season before, when he scored the double against Manchester United.
Yeah, last
small
season.
cameos. And the games in which he does make an impact. He's a fantastic player. Obviously, he's not starting 11 quality, but you need those type of players. Him, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Henderson, Naby Keita, they're all on the fringes, but they are ready to break in, as you just said, then, mate. It's Mohamed Salah, definitely, he's looking like he will be a doubt, but I'd rather us not play him than risk losing him for a good couple of weeks anyway. But Divock Origi, he's very, very, very capable of stepping in and getting a couple of goals anyway come Saturday. But I think Shaq, absolutely spot on there, mate. I think he could potentially come in anyway if he is needed. But I'm excited, mate. Premier League football is back. I don't half hate the international break.
Yeah, brutal. Don't mention Ireland. Don't mention Ireland. Don't mention Ireland.
Oh but what score prediction do you reckon you'll go with, mate?
2-0. It's a standard 2-0. Palace 0, Liverpool 2. Obviously depends on the lineup, but we're far too good at the moment. The thing about it is, for me, I heard pundits. I was talking to Chris Pajak on Saturday from Redmen, and he's confident and confident. I'm quietly confident. I said it to him.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a long time since we've won the league, Jack. You don't need to be told. Nobody needs to be told. 1990. Like, it'd be 31 years. You know, it's a long, long time. And I'm an old man. Like, you know what I mean? It's older than you.
Nah, you're still
So
young, Dave.
for someone to turn around to me and say, we're going to win it, there's no doubt about it. We've won it already. It's a complete... Look, until the bloody Premier League, number 19, is lifted aloft in Liverpool City next May, I won't be saying anything until it's mathematically impossible. We have a really, really good chance. We're in the groove. We've got everything looking rosy. We've got a bit of a congestion to get through in the next 6 weeks, which is, I think, hugely important to get off to a win against Palace now this weekend. It'll be a catalyst just to kick us back on, get out of this cobweb international break, because we've got games coming thick and fast. That big game. I think it's important. Obviously, the win is important. The point's huge, but City have tough games. City have tougher games than us in the next 10. They've got Chelsea at the weekend is tricky. They've got Leicester. They've got Arsenal. They've got Man United. They've Newcastle and Burnley away. They've got 1 or 2 tricky Champions League games. We have Napoli at Anfield. I think it's next Wednesday week.
I think next Wednesday, yeah.
At Anfield. If we can beat Napoli, we win the group. We won't even have to. We can play our under 23s against Salzburg. That's another game wiped off the list. We can rest players. We won't have to worry about it. We won't have to. I know we won't worry about the Aston Villa quarterfinal because, as far as I know, I hate saying throwing the towel in it, but it looks like we're not going to be interested in it.
I think me and you might have to play in that one at this group.
Well, Klopp rang me yesterday and asked me, would I turn up? And I said, I'm too busy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even last a minute, mate.
Well, we just have to. It's game management, Jack. I mean, we all want the bloody league. We can't let the League Cup. We can't even let the Club World Cup get in the way. We can't let anything get in the way of it. So the World Club Cup, it looks like we're gonna go for it. We're traveling so far away. It's in Qatar. We might as well go with a squad and try win the thing. It's only 2 games. It's a semi and it's a final. If you win the semi, you're in the final. We've never won it as a club, so let's go for it. When we come back at Christmas on Boxing Day, Leicester City away. What a tough. Santa Claus could not have made a tougher present for Liverpool. I'm dreaming of a red Christmas, just like the ones that Anfield knows. But
all we want is 3 points. 3 points.
Exactly. So it's got to be, listen, it's man management, it's player management. I mean, Fabinho played, I think he played 90 minutes with Alisson today for Brazil. 3-0. I think it was 3-0 against Korea. Firmino came on as a late sub. They look okay, no injuries, but there's a lot of travelling, you know. Get everyone back. Get the 3 points on the board Saturday. It's all about injuries. Injury free. I mean, DVD came back, some personal issues there. From the Dutch camp, they're already qualified, so that was good news. I know it's terrible news for nobody knows what happened.
He's very much like rang them all up, and
with DVD. We obviously hope everything's okay, but for Liverpool as a club, we just got to stay together. Take it game by game, Jack. I'm not even thinking ahead to Christmas.
No, anyone that is thinking about thinking past game by game, I'll have a word.
Crystal Palace is next.
Yeah,
that's it.
1 game at a
Get
time.
the win. I'm saying 2-0. Let's go.
Yeah, can't wait, mate. But thank you very much for coming on, mate. As always, absolutely love it. But famous words, I'd love it if we beat Aston Villa anyway, mate. But everyone, thank you very much for joining us. A bit of a long one, but me and Dave love our good long episodes anyway. If you want us to make them into podcasts, I think I very much will start doing that. And if Dave gets a couple of podcasts out as well, I'll sort his podcasts out as well for him. But because I know a lot of people like to listen in the car, you can't really watch video anyway when you're driving and that. But thank you very much for coming on, mate. 3 points. So we need them. But obviously with the fixture pile up coming up anyway, it's 1 game at a time, as we all do love to say anyway. But go and check Dave LFC chats out anyway. Make sure you do head over there and subscribe. Let me know what you have, and hit us up on Twitter anyway. Dave LFC's Twitter anyway. I'll leave his handle and everything in the description, and give us a follow and make sure you just follow us on Twitter, because obviously the notifications on YouTube isn't the best half the time. A lot of people have been saying they're not getting notified. Just keep on checking both of our channels for content and that. But yeah, you've got a big episode coming up. Is it tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, I have a chat lined up with the legend John Gibbons from the Anfield Rap. Haven't talked to him in a while, so hoping to get the lowdown from Big John tomorrow.
Yeah, so definitely check that out, everyone. But thank you, as always, mate, for coming on. And I'll speak to you very soon, mate. We'll do a post-match after that game. Speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers. More than this.